I'm trying to remember correctly. If it's... Oh, it was... excuse me. Akira Tozawa versus Noam Dar and Alicia Fox in his corner. This matchup, again, wasn't really too exciting, but God help me. That bump that Akira Tozawa took from the kick that Noam Dar did to Akira Tozawa's leg, and then I see Tozawa hitting his face on the mat and his leg just hanging up on the second rope. I'm like, oh God, this guy's going to kill himself. How is that? Oh, jeez. That just looked like a very ugly shot, but didn't really affect him too much because we saw the bridging German suplex by Tozawa to Noam Dar for the quick win. And Akira Tozawa gets attacked by the Brian Kendrick, again trying to be, I guess, the guru of the cruiserweights or the teacher. Kind of liking this gimmick that he's doing. It really kind of works for him, and it kind of really makes him look like a bit of an asshole, which he really is doing an amazing job at that. So I think that this is kind of really, I don't know if I would say like the revitalization, but I think it's one of those redesigned characters that I think Brian Kendrick's going to pull off very well, and I think it's going to work for him. It might work for him as well as, Chris Jericho did with the list and with the stupid idiot thing. But I don't know. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't know where they're going with it. I know like a couple weeks ago, it kind of started where he was saying, I'm going to take him under my wing and all that stuff. And they're like, well, he's not even acknowledging you. And now he's just attacking him basically for saying or not accepting his leadership role. But I don't know. It's not really anything I care too much about. Who knows? That whole division, it just gets so watered down. They know what they got in the cruiserweight tournament, and I even heard this rumor right away as soon as they brought the cruiserweights to Raw, which in my opinion they shouldn't even be on Raw. But they said they were going to water down the cruiserweight because they don't want to take all the attention away from the main roster. So why even put them on that show? They got their own show. Let these dudes go freaking ape shit crazy on their own show like they did in that tournament, because it's ridiculous. All those guys, every single one of those cruiserweights has a lot more ability and a lot more to bring to the table than what they're letting get shown on Raw. And it sucks.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's really just amazing how, again, WWE logic dictates that, hey, we got to get these big guys, they got to be the main attraction, when for 3 months last year, most of the attention wasn't even put on them, and it was put on the cruiserweights. It's like, oh gosh, Cruiserweight Classic, it's back, let's put attention on there. And then they had the whole UK tournament, and they turned a blind eye there, but now it's just kind of like, oh, we're just going to make sure that, we're bringing you guys on. We're giving you guys what you want. It's just a little more or less watered down, like you said, very lesser version of it, which is very disappointing. But I am looking forward to seeing how things go, especially when they get more people on there. I really want to see, Tajiri as well as Grand Metalik get utilized a lot more, because, like you said, those guys are very, very talented. Everybody on the Cruiserweight division is very talented. And not only getting watered down, but their characters are just getting so either annoying or they're just not connecting well. Speaking of annoying and connecting well, how about that promo with Enzo and Big Cass backstage? Oh my gosh. One of the few times I actually wanted somebody to just kick Enzo and just be like, dude, just shut up.
That's another one of those things too where, sorry, I've been battling a cough all week.
Oh, jeez.
Their promo, so bad. I immediately thought, I am so glad we saw them at Raw the last time we were here, and they cut that amazing cheese promo where Enzo was listing off all the different types of cheese, and then at the end they throw in Famunda, and
Well, the Enzo problem has been going on for a while now, to where people are actually really starting to get annoyed by him. I don't know where it really started. It may have started with the whole Lana and Rusev thing. There's a shocker. But for some reason, Enzo just seems like he's just getting more and more, more and more annoying, really. I don't know why, but I don't know if this is like WWE trying to maybe start the wedge between Enzo and Cass and have Cass go out on his own, or maybe this is just, Enzo kind of running out of ideas or something like that. I don't know. It's just really, really weird. I do agree that a lot of people were, very off tonight. And again, this was another one of those examples of that. The match between Big Cass and Luke Gallows, fairly decent.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I didn't think by any means it was bad. Oh my God, that big boot.
I was just about to say, yeah.
At the end, Jesus Christ, that reminded me of remember when Tess came back and he was doing that running, just nasty big boot.
Where he basically almost killed everybody.
Yeah, and they sell it with the backflip or whatever. That's what that one reminded me of.
It just surprised at how Luke Gallows took it. I looked at that, I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, Luke Gallows is going to have a concussion after this. Jeez Louise. But yeah, like you said, the big boot was just amazing, perfectly done. Gallows took it like a champ. Big Cass gets the victory.
Really good.
And they get momentum going into Sunday. So, going to be interesting to see what happens on Sunday. What were you going to say?
They're not going to win. I know that one.
Well, yeah, they're probably going to at least hold the titles at least to WrestleMania, if not past it, I think.
I fucking hope so. It's got those damn things a month ago.
Yeah, and the same thing happened with Cesaro and Sheamus. They had the titles for about a month, and then they had maybe 1-2 title defenses, and then it's just nope, we're giving it to the club. We're finally recognizing their greatness.
Well, Orton and Wyatt had the same titles for 23 days on SmackDown.
You're just not going to get over that, are you?
Oh no, it pissed me off so bad. They're okay, a little off topic, but I'll try and make it quick. The way the announce team was calling those matches with Orton and Wyatt as the tag champs, they're basically billing them as the Brothers of Destruction when Taker and Kane were a tag team, and they were just dominating everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They're oh, these titles aren't going anywhere for a long time. These guys are going to have the titles as long as they want them, and then it's 23 days later.
Yeah, no. I do agree with that, but, at least there was a giant payoff at the end, and that being about month and a half later, that being Bray Wyatt winning the title. But get more into that a little bit tomorrow again with the SmackDown breakdown. The women's tag match, I was honestly not expecting the change-up from Dana Brooke to Nia Jax. I mean, as soon as Charlotte said, Dana Brooke is now my partner, this woman is. As soon as she said this woman is, I knew exactly who it was going to be. But honestly...
Oh, yeah. I think everyone... before, when she said that, before the music even hit, I turned to my wife, Alicia, and I was just she's not like most girls. And she's like, what? And then the music hits, and she's like, oh, okay.
Well, you're not wrong. I mean... Oh, man.
Yeah, I think everyone knew that it was going to be Nia Jax. They are clearly setting up for this. I'm assuming it's going to be the fatal four-way between Sasha, Charlotte, Nia, and Bayley at WrestleMania.
And the crazy thing was that with the victory that Nia scored over Bayley tonight, I honestly thought they were going to probably set it up for Sunday, but no, I guess they're going to have but then Stephanie decided, hey, you're going to have Sasha versus Nia, and then we're going to have Bayley versus Charlotte. I'm thinking, oh, well, okay.
Yeah, and I think that's going to end in a big clusterfuck, I think, and that's what's going to set up the match at Mania, because Nia Jax, or Sasha said she's going to be in Bayley's corner, and then she's got the match with Nia Jax, and then I got a feeling Nia Jax will come out in the women's match, and then boop, we got Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania.
Well, at least they're doing it in a right way. But going to the matchup, the ending for the match made Nia Jax look like a complete monster. Just, wow. My eyes actually just widened open as soon as I saw her grab Sasha, slam her onto Bayley, and then just do her running leg drop deal. I'm just like, oh, wow, that's like the Nia Jax I remember in NXT.
You can ask Chris. I've been a big fan of Nia Jax ever since she came in. I see a lot of potential with her. She was very, very green when she first got to NXT. That's something that I know Chris had mentioned, and I had agreed with him. I just think that the potential that this girl has is amazing. Look at what we were all saying about Braun Strowman a year ago at the Royal Rumble. Like, wow, this guy needs work. Now look at him a year later. Like, he's vastly improved. And I think Nia Jax, I think I told Chris a few months ago, like maybe right around when Nia Jax first came up to the main roster, I think I said give her 6 months to a year, she'll be a fucking star.
Definitely. And I think that it's only going to be a matter of time before she's wearing that, white strap around her shoulder. It's just, I'm just surprised that hasn't been put on her now. But I think that if anything, that maybe she could be the one that walks out of WrestleMania with the title. You never know.
Who knows? I can honestly say that's something I would be okay with.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they should have kept the whole Bayley title victory at WrestleMania. That just was what we said was, the big moment that WWE needed, especially Raw needed. But they decided to just put it on free TV. Great job, guys. So,
and it's weird too because she won the title, and then I read an article, and the next week she was supposed to get stripped because of the outside interference, and it never happened.
Yeah.
Who knows what it's you know how much these people change their minds with everything, and I get it. The idea is probably shoot out of a cannon like rapid fire backstage with those people. So who knows? But yeah,
we could think big old Daddy Mac Vince himself. But here's a question I want to kind of pose to you, and this might sound crazy, but it might actually be one of the greatest swerves that Raw could possibly do. Charlotte, before the tag team match, really made it seem like Sasha and Bayley were kind of using each other basically to get the spotlight and get the spotlight away from Charlotte and get the title. One thing that a lot of people have been saying is that seeing Sasha Banks go heel. But could you make the argument that this could also involve a possible heel turn for Bayley? Maybe she could actually make it seem like, she was using Sasha more than Sasha was using Bayley for, to get the title, to get the advantage. I would honestly like to see that from Bayley because I think that would be an interesting change-up for her character. I think it'd be also pretty risky to do because I know a lot of people love Bayley, but I don't know. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of look at Bayley as like the female John Cena. I don't know if they would do anything like that to damage her gimmick and what she's got going on. Because I think if she does something like that, it's hard to go back to what she was and still have it be credible. Look at John Cena. He started out with the ruthless aggression and then got into the chain gang, John Cena. He was heel for a very long time. And, he had babyface, heel for a while, and then he's been babyface for like a decade. I don't know, I don't know if Bayley can go back to doing that because, I'm looking at Cena, just remembering, every time he switched,